guys, what's going on? We're back with the average Ty learned video. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today to discuss who is the strongest Buu, Kid Buu or Buuhan. Well, the correct answer is technically Fit Buu, but for the sake of discussion, I'll just answer who is the stronger one between specifically Kid Buu and Buuhan. And to make this easier, one of us will go over Buuhan while the other goes over Kid Buu, and then at the end sort of break down together the contentious points when it comes to this debate. With that being said, let's dive into the most toxic debate in Dragon Ball.
For starters, I'd like to start with Buuhan since his scaling is a lot more cut and dry in comparison to Kid Buu's. So we do have statements of Kid Buu being the strongest Buu. However, we know that Buuhan isn't even just Buu, but also a fusion of other characters. Plus, the statements are made when Buuhan doesn't even exist anymore. We also do have guides that imply Buuhan is the strongest Buu after the events of Z take place, and he has showcased the ability to destroy the universe within a few minutes by baby raging. People like to say this is only through hacks, so this isn't impressive AP-wise, but Buuhan performed this feat with an upgraded Vice Shout, which is literally just a person shouting and exerting ki. This is the same thing as saying Goku's Kamehameha is hacks and doesn't scale to him. And if we use the anime, it's somewhat implied Vegito needs Super Saiyan to embarrass Buuhan, and Vegito in base is greater than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This argument is something we'll address later on, but I will just lay it out there for you, so keep in mind. Lastly, I think it should be noted that Buuhan is way more intelligent than Kid Buu and has the abilities of Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and Piccolo at his disposal.
Now, let's talk about Kid Buu, aka me in real life. Kid Buu, like I said earlier in the video, has a plethora of statements being outright the strongest Buu, but it doesn't really end there. We also have an author interview from Toriyama where he was asked why he makes the villains usually smaller in their final states like Frieza and Buu, for example. To which Toriyama replied with, "I wanted to go against people's expectations that the strong ones always get stronger or bigger." And before anyone brings up Vegeta laughing at Kid Buu shrinking, Kid Buu never shrunk in terms of power, and it was made very clear that Vegeta was only talking about his height. Meaning this is Vegeta simply underestimating Kid Buu, which is shown very explicitly during the final fight with Kid Buu. We have not only the anime saying that Kid Buu is the strongest, but also the manga supporting Kid Buu being the strongest, and him and Goku essentially being the top two by the end of everything. We also have the likes of Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, along with the entire universe giving their energy to Goku, and it's still not being enough until Goku gets his energy back, and then adding Super Saiyan on top of all of that. And as we know, donating ki is exponential. Like for example, Vegeta in the TOP gave Goku a sliver of energy. This Goku, who could barely even go Super Saiyan, could now go Super Saiyan Blue. And by the way, Vegeta was so weakened, all he could do was throw basic punches. So this would have to mean Kid Buu has some type of universal attack potency. This is also supported by the fact that Goku says at the beginning of the fight, if they lose, then the universe is gonna go poof. Poof meaning that Kid Buu would basically erase the universe in a couple of seconds. And for those who want to say that this is an outlier because Kid Buu would need over 1,000 years to destroy the universe, well, we can actually justify this by saying Kid Buu loves destruction and is simply demented, and this isn't even a joke either. He legit loves committing evil because he's evil itself. So he'd not only have AP similar to Buuhan's level, as they both can destroy the universe within a short amount of time at their peak, but we have a plethora of statements from the anime, implications from the manga, and Toriyama himself saying that Kid Buu is the strongest. And now me and Toaster are going to be going over the most contentious arguments when it comes to this topic. Now when comparing the Kid Buu and Buuhan statements, we do have Kid Buu simply having more. And Super Buu statements for the majority are taken out of context. And then there's just like the one statement of him being the strongest Majin in some promotional guide. And for that, you can just simply say that Kid Buu has way more, so it would contradict that. Along with the fact that they're talking about the scene with Vegito versus Buuhan, you could just say that Buuhan was the strongest at the time. Boom! Debunk. But Ty learned a Toaster. Goku gets cliffed during the arc.
People don't really believe Goku gets stronger as the Buu arc goes on, which is pretty f***ing dumb. Especially when taking the anime into account and you see Goku go from sub-Go tanks to scrapping with Buu tanks, and even fighting a clone equal to Gohan in base. So arguments like Vegito over Goku can be dismissed since Goku adapts and has plenty of fights where he can grow.
Another debunk.
But he can't fight Super Buu.
Goku being scared of Super Buu is pretty justifiable considering that him and Vegeta are inside of Buu shrunken and are trying to escape. So in all honesty, I feel like this argument, although it's probably the most common thing a Buuhan stan would use, it's borderline disingenuous. One more combo, debunk. Oh, but Tyler, to Toaster, it stated Goku, Gohan, and Gotenks can defeat Kid Buu. Gohan and Gotenks are above him.
As for this guide saying Gotenks or Gohan can beat Kid Buu individually, well, it's actually in reference to all three fighting him, as we literally see in the picture all three of them pushing back a spirit bomb, which wouldn't be wrong since Goku is already at his full power and could fight Buu.
So obviously with the combination of Gohan and Gotenks, it's going to be easier for them to defeat Kid Buu. Another debunk!
But Goku or Ultimate Gohan could have killed Kid Buu.
I think this is a pretty good transition into the next argument because Goku and Vegeta initially theorized that a full power Kamehameha would vaporize Kid Buu during this fight. And we already know Buuhan slaps Goku, so therefore Buuhan should slap Kid Buu, right? However, as the battle dragged on, Goku began to suspect that Kid Buu was simply toying with him and even suggested that they should have fused together, but Goku tried to act cool in his own words. According to the guides, Goku and Kid Buu were initially evenly matched in exchanging blows. However, it was later revealed that Buu had been holding back during the fight, and in the Daizenshuu, which is a guidebook for the series, it stated that even a full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Goku would not be able to defeat Buu. Moreover, a V-Jump guide confirms that Super Saiyan 3 Goku is at least equal in power to Ultimate Gohan, indicating that Gohan would not be able to defeat Kid Buu either. This is consistent with the plausible Zenkais or power boosts that Goku receives throughout the Buu arc. Fat nerd debunked. This one is honestly, this is probably going to be the most normie argument, and that's, but Gohan was stated to be the strongest non-fused character.
There is a fan rumor that suggests that Goku is weaker than Gohan, but this claim has never been stated in any official interviews or guides, and the only statement is in reference to when he first got his potential unlocked. While it is true that Goku and Gohan have different fighting styles and abilities, Goku has several sources and statements within the context of the series that imply he is at least as strong, if not stronger than Gohan. These claims are even supported within the manga. However, this debate is ultimately irrelevant when it comes to determining the Buu's power, as all characters are shown to be outmatched by Buu at some point during the Buu saga.
What we are basically saying is that shit do not matter. Another debunk.
Kid Buu is the most dangerous, not the strongest.
While it is possible to argue that in the manga, certain characters may be depicted as more powerful than their anime counterparts, and in the case of Buu, the anime is quite clear in stating that he is the most powerful and strongest form of all the Buus. In fact, the anime repeats that claim over 5 times, and this is further confirmed by a guidebook. Despite any contradictions or inconsistencies that may exist in the series, this claim remains unchallenged and uncontested. Therefore, it is clear that within the context of the anime, Kid Buu is indeed the most powerful and strongest form of Buu. And as a side note, because we didn't have this as an original point in the script, but I'll just put it here since we are talking about the statements, Buuhan is a fucking Buu, okay? People who try to argue that because Buuhan is a fusion, that means he's not an actual form of Buu, here is a guide that literally confirms that Buuhan is a form of Buu. Literally the same guide that Buuhan fans use to prove that Buuhan is the strongest, but yet also argue that he isn't a Buu, says that he's a fucking Buu. Be for real, bro. But Tyler, we have one more argument, okay? Koyama says Buuhan is stronger.
Regarding the screenwriter for the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z, Koyama, there has been some discussion around his opinion on which form of Buu is the strongest. Koyama has previously expressed on Twitter that he believes Buuhan to be the most powerful form of Buu, which directly contradicts Toriyama's statement that Kid Buu is the strongest. However, it is important to note that Koyama has also acknowledged that he is not ultimately in charge of the series, and that his opinion is not necessarily definitive. In fact, Koyama has even confirmed that Kid Buu is indeed stronger than Buuhan, despite his initial musings on Twitter. Therefore, it is clear that while Koyama may have his own personal opinions on the matter, the official stance remains that Kid Buu is the strongest form of Buu.
And what's crazy is that when this Koyama statement first came out, everyone was like, oh, the debate's over, it's over. And then months later, he says that Kid Buu's the strongest. So I guess the debate's over. The debate's over. Now, in regards to the Kid Buu versus Buuhan debate, if we missed any arguments, feel free to comment them down below, and maybe me and Toaster could potentially answer them in the comments or in a stream. But for the most part, the evidence for Buuhan is just severely lacking in comparison to the sheer amount of statements that Kid Buu has.
Based on what Tyler just said, Buuhan gets f***ing curb stomped. Cry about it.
Don't forget to subscribe to Toaster's channel.